Hey, this is Peggy with Easy Peasy Machine Embroidery, and today I am in my Sewn Platinum, and hopefully I will teach you how to design a scalloped candle mat. Okay, let's begin. This is the candle mat that I am aiming for. It's not finished yet. I still have to put the binding on, but I wanted to show you what my finished product looked like. And the candle mat I did is actually sewn in the hoop in two halves. So you've got a split right down the center that's sewed together afterwards. So what I'm going to do is go into configure first, and I'm going to go into utilities and reset all my modules. So I start out with a fresh, clean copy of the software. So I'm going to reopen it. And I'm going to go into a blank canvas, and I am going to use the Epic 2 because that's what I have. But the important thing is that you use the 180 by 130 5x7 design hoop. If you don't have that, just do enter hoop size and choose 130 for the width and 180 for the height. Same difference. And then we're going to go into the Create tab, where we can grab the digitizing. Do not do anything with that Finish button. And we are going to load or create a background picture. And now I need to find the picture in my cloud folder. And right here it is. So this is the picture we're going to use. And we're going to use it in that 5x7 hoop. Here is the picture. We can go ahead and use that Quick Create tab, and we're going to turn off pattern fill by just clicking in the upper section. A left click in the upper section deactivates it. And we're going to use a running stitch to start out with. And we'll click on the quick stitch and just say OK. And that gives us a scallop border running stitch, and we're good to go there. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is add a color change, just because I like color changes. And rayon 40, and doesn't matter what color to use. And I'm going to do a Control C for copy, and a Control V as in Victor for paste. So I have two copies of that, and I'm going to go to my Home tab and do a box select. And I'm going to hold my Control button down and grab the corners so that it resizes proportionately. And now I'm going to do one more thing. I am going to do insert color change, and I'm going to choose a different color. It doesn't matter what color I use. And I am going to do a Control V and paste one more time. Except this time I'm going to change it from a running stitch to no borderline. And I am going to put a stipple fill in. And I'm going to change the gap to a 4.5. I'm going to keep it at curved and apply and say OK. All right, I see one thing I did wrong. Can you guess what that is? I can correct it by either resizing it, or I could have just gone back and grabbed that inner circle and copied the inner circle and pasted that one. Okay, so I think that is good with the resize. So that is our basic base. Now, hopefully you will do a save as, and you will save that as an EDO file, which means you can go in later and change it any way you like, any way you need to change it. And hopefully, if we have not touched that finish button that was up here to start out with, when we close it out, it ends up on our screen. And that's exactly what we want. And what I'm going to do now is change my frame to the 360 by 260. And I'm going to bring this down here. I'm going to give it a little twist. And I'm going to copy with a Control C and then paste with a Control V as in Victor. I'm going to move this one out. I'm going to go down in the lower right hand corner and get my zoom. And I'm going to take the little circle here and I'm going to reposition it. So it just about matches whoops. Whoops, there we go. Gets a little tippy. It's like a boat rocking. All right, now they match up. And I am going to combine them. And I am going to do a copy and a paste. And I'm going to go back out into full screen. And I'm going to twist these babies. Again, so they just about line up. We want to come as close as we can. And when I zoomed in, I need to make sure that this little toggle key is still reachable. And I think that's pretty good right there. All right, So we have both of those. And again, I am going to group them. I'm going to move them up there so they are centered on the hoop. Go back into the zoom to fit. And I'm hoping that when I do a combine all and color sort, I get 3 colors. Perfect. Okay, so what's going to happen is this color right here is going to be a placement line. So I am going to change that, and I have created a folder in my thread cache that says stitch the fabrics down. So what that means is you're going to place your fabrics down on your hoop. Your fabrics, your batting, anything you got, and it's going to stitch all that down. And then you can trim it if you want, whatever you want to do. And then it's going to stitch this inner line down, and it's going to stitch your stippling down. The only thing I might have done differently is if I go back into that create module, I'll show you. And I'm not sure if I did it or not. I'm going to load my existing design. So load design. So here's the table mat. Okay, so the only thing I would have done differently in here is this is okay as a running stitch. If it was going to be used as a placement stitch, I'm not going to use it as a placement stitch at this point. So I'm going to take and I'm going to right click over properties, and I'm going to turn that into a triple stitch because I know it's for what I'm doing here. I'm going to have it sew the fabric right down onto my stabilizer, my fabric batting, everything, and then I'm probably going to trim around it. So I'm going to change that to a triple stitch, and this one is that inner scallop that I put in, and I am going to do a properties, and I'm going to change that to a double stitch. And I'm going to take a look at this quilt stipple fill because good, did not want a border line, so that's perfect, so we're okay. So I would do the same thing. I would do a closeout here, and there is the design, and I would position it the same way I did here. And once you have your design done, then you can go ahead and add whatever you want to it. So I'm going to go into Super Designs, and I am going to put a leaf in there. So I'm going to drop down to see what kind of leaves I have that I could put in here. Ooh, the holly design would be cute for Christmas also. But being how it's fall, I'm going to use this leaf. I'm going to put a size of a 45 in there. And now I'm going to decide how I want that leaf placed. Do I want the stem going outward, or do I want it going inward? And I think I want it going inward. So I'm just going to keep placing that leaf. In those scallops. The way I want. And go back in here. Perfect. And I can combine those, I believe. Put them in a group. And I'm going to do a combine all. And now I'm going to do a color sort. And perfect. So what's going to happen is it's going to do is stitch the fabrics down and trim. It's going to do the inner scallop. Then it's going to do the stippling. And then it's going to do the orange of the leaf. And then it's going to do the leaf outline. Okay? And what you're going to do is sew 2 of these, and then you're going to sew these 2 seams together, and you're going to end up with a table mat. Okay, so hopefully you understand how I did this. For mine, I used a design out of embroiderydesigns.com, and it was the pirate design. I'll pause this and go look and see what number it was. So the pirate design that I used earlier would be in embroiderydesigns.com, and it is number EEO1-EEDP0846 if anybody wanted that specific design. I always try to give credit where credit is due. I also wanted to make my followers aware that I am on Facebook under Easy Peasy Machine Embroidery, and this is what my Facebook channel would look like. It is a private Facebook channel, but you can ask to join. I sometimes drop files in there and whatnot. And those of you who are on Facebook, if you need to ask questions, that's a great place to ask me questions. So, whoops, sorry about that. I had a little bit of technical difficulty. Anyway, so remember to like and subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up, or if you didn't like the video or you need to make a comment, I do try to answer your comments within a day or so. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Bye.